Hello and welcome to the Pride Pod here on Loud and Proud Orlando. We're going to talk everything Orlando Pride. I'm here with Luis. It's got a very busy show lined up. We've got players coming in, we've got injuries to talk about, we got players going out, we've got a loss to Angel City, and we're going to preview Gotham. So much going on. Drop a like on the video if it's your first time here. Please subscribe to Loud and Proud Orlando. We are on YouTube. You can find us on X, Blue Sky, Threads, Instagram, Facebook, all those good places. Luis, how you doing? Are you ready to talk Jacquie Ovalle?
Yeah, for sure. We're definitely very excited of the arrival of La Maga, Jacquie Ovalle. We're definitely very happy to talk about that today. We're going to also discuss Barbra Banda's unfortunate injury that she had. This kind of unfortunately bound to happen, at some point. Thank you, Morgan, as well. Morgan got trot, no longer a Pride player. We'll discuss all of that and more, what happened there. 1-0 loss against Angel City FC. Unfortunate loss. We'll see what that loss takes us in the NWSL. Orlando versus Gotham. We're going to have to kill the bat. That's the next for Orlando Pride. Score predictions and more. But yeah, excited to talk about those topics today, John.
Yes, indeedy. All right, let's kick it off with the first one, Luis. Jacquie Ovalle. This is a world record fee signed for $1.5 million, breaking the record previously set for Smith, which was $1.3 million roughly, even though that was in a UK transfer. This is a huge get from Orlando Pride, Luis. Another massive signing by Haley Carter and the Orlando Pride front office, backed by the Wilfs again, to go out and break the record like we did when we brought in Barbra Banda. So this is epic and this is huge, and it couldn't be in a more vital time for the club. So, Luis, your kind of initial thoughts on Ovalle and how big and exciting this is.
110%. I mean, this is a impactful signing. It is a statement of the intent that the Orlando Pride, want to do to their club and commitment to building a championship caliber team. The club now has completed two of the most expensive transfers in women's soccer history, with Jacquie Ovalle's 1.5 million fee surpassing the previous record of 1.3 million for Olivia Smith, and following their 740,000 investment in Barbra Banda last year. This just elevates Orlando Pride's profile. They're already nominated thanks to players like Banda and Marta for the Ballon d'Or, for sure, putting them into the same level with European clubs like Barcelona,
And
Manchester
the club
City.
is rated as well for Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So, I mean, Orlando is right there in the same boat. So, I think her arrival is expected to bolster Orlando's attacking third, which, I mean, trust me, John, it has not been the best to 2025. 4 goals in the last 6 games. So after Banda's hat trick on May 23rd, Orlando Pride has not been able to score anything. With Banda out, definitely the Pride offense is a little bit stagnant. But now with the signing of Ovalle, you expect her to be, the woman of the squad. Pretty much the one who controls the reins. And I feel like it's not just her. I think the whole entire team needs to elevate their game. I mean, they did it before. 2024. Actually, I posted it on X. In 2024, before Banda arrived, Orlando Pride was on a winning streak. And this was before Banda arrived to the team. They were in a winning streak. And Banda was the last piece of the puzzle right there for that championship team. So they can do it again. They just got to go into that mindset. I think that they've become a little bit too comfortable, some of the players. And also, some of the aid coming off the bench has not been as impactful as it was last year. So I think those are the two issues that the Orlando Pride is having this season. But I'm excited because this is a massive, massive player. Someone that if she continues having this amazing career, she's gonna be on the Marta level at some point.
Yeah, I mean the amount of goals that she scored for Tigres is obviously extremely exciting. She's just that kind of player that you don't have a nickname like the Magician, and you're not an exciting player to watch, right? It's that kind of excitement and ability on the ball that Marta has, where she can make something out of nothing. She can go past defenders. She can 1v1 somebody. She's constantly looking to create and do that. But also, I think a lot what's so great about her is that she also has the work ethic, Luis. And I've seen a lot of spoken to some guys who do a Tigres English podcast, and kind of spoken to a few other people around Mexico about this. And everyone I've spoken to has said she is just really hardworking as well as so talented, and she will put in the effort on the press, and she just really wants to win and has that drive and that desire. She is a star and she has those star qualities, but she doesn't act like it, in the sense that she doesn't want to defend, or she doesn't want to have to put in that work, and just thinks I'll wait here for you to pass me the ball. So really, the way that we play a lot of the time with the high press, that's going to suit us really well. If you've got someone like her willing to high press, wins the ball like high up on the left side, and then can just run with it and spring a counter and go attack a team, that makes her a real double-edged sword. And just, I think that, technical ability and that excitement and that spark, Luis, that really the attack has been lacking. Like, Barbara's had some moments, of course, this year, but outside of that, we've really been lacking any sort of attacking flair. So Ovalle, I think, is going to be like a breath of fresh air. And, Haley Carter seems to think that she's going to come in and just hit the ground running, plug and play, like you say.
Yeah, I mean, this is a player that, in my opinion, has a lot of versatility, which comes in handy for the Pride. She has a lot of versatility as a winger. She could either play left or right. So it is an ideal fit for the Pride, especially since Priska and also Ali Wad have not been having the best year. Also, Banda is a center forward. So definitely, and knowing more of her physicality and goal scoring, I feel like they're going to have to kind of change the way they play unless you have somebody that's a pivot nine, like a big massive. I'll say Priska to play the nine, in my opinion, and have Obaye playing on the wing. I think she'll be likely be slotted into a wide attacking role, either as a left or right winger, typical in a 4-3-3 or a 4-2-3-1 formation, because of her dribbling and the ability of taking on defenders. So if we were looking at sometimes Adriana and her 1v1 prowess, she's even better than her, when it comes to that. And lately the wings have not been able to do that, take on any defender. So now we're adding a massive piece, but they need somebody that maybe after a beautiful cross from Ovalle that can capitalize on the box. And that was going to have to be somebody that's either Julie Doyle or Ali Wad, or, I would have wished it would have been an Alex Skur. Alex Skur is killing it in Europe right now. She's killing it in Cuomo. She's one of the top strikers in Serie A. But I mean, I think with Ovalle and her, that would have been a really good partnership at some point. But I feel like, the adaptability of Ovalle is going to be great because it's also going to help Marta, I believe, because Marta could now play a little bit more free with Angelina, and also linking up with players like Haley McCutcheon and Morgan. Now she's no longer part of the team, but she's definitely a creator. That's why they call her La Maga, right? But you also gotta have to have the players that are gonna execute those plays. So I feel like I would hate to put a heavy backpack on her and she just arrived. Clearly, she's coming at a time that the team really needs her. But I think everybody needs to step up, not just her. I don't doubt that she's going to step up and try to take the leadership role. But I feel like, Summer. I mean, I'm talking about the players that excel last season: Summer Yates, Julie Doyle, Angelina, like Carrie Abello. Like those players need to elevate themselves a little more.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's interesting. I think it'd be great to get into this, like kind of how we
That's a
what's the situation
perfect.
going to be like. Of course, we're going to talk a little bit in a minute about Barbara, but with her not being here, with Ovalle coming in, with us needing to do something different in the attack entirely, where is this going to go? I think this lineup for me, the back line I see as our best line is Carrie Abello, Kylie Strom, Emily Sams, probably Oyane Hernandez there, maybe Corey Dyke. I think arguably could be a better option at right back right now. Not that Hernandez has been really bad. I just feel like Corey Dyke has been very good. And so then in the midfield, I would go Angelina and Haley, which I feel, Luis, you kind of would agree that that's our preferred two in those midfield. Then Marta's still in the 10. Then Ovalle really could play either side, like you
Yeah,
said. Let's experiment here. Let's say Ovalle is on the left and you could bring in Ali
Ali
Watt
Watt.
to play on the right side. This is if you're going with Priska up top as the 9. The other option is you have Priska out here and you bring Simone
I
Charlie
like
in if
that.
she's ready. I think Simone Charlie is a very, really our best option in the 9 at the moment. Of all sad words here saying at the open practice, a lot of the plays they seem to run is focus on Priska to make the runs into space, which would then kind of lead to Priska being the 9 and doing the Banda role, which I could
There you go.
definitely see them doing. Simone could be out here. The other thing is I know she went off a little injured, but Simone Jackson, I'm trying to find her here, would be the other option. On the wing, you got Julie Doyle. I mean, Ovalle and Marta are gonna play. So it's really about these other two positions right now in the attack. I don't want to see Angelina up here. Seb has had a tendency to do this. Put Angelina up here at left wing. I can't. I'm just not on board. I really think Angelina and Haley should be here. Whoever this other winger is, that is a spot to claim. Whoever is going to claim the 10 or the 9 spot now that Banda is injured, really, like we said, Luis, everybody has to step up, but there are first teams, spots to claim here and here right now. Whoever comes in and starts scoring goals is probably going to get that start in 9 position. So you're muted, bro. Luis, you're muted. I can't hear you.
Sorry, because Jacquie Ovalle is so versatile, all Seb has to do, and I think everybody in the chat could do it. You could do it. I could do it. It's just whoever we're playing. You know, there's not a team unless KC that has two really good left backs and right backs. So choose choose the weakest link and pair them up with Ovalle because on the 1v1 she's gonna cook them more than likely. So I think that's the versatility that the Pride did not have in the wings. That I mean, I would have loved for Banda to be in great shape. So I mean, she would have been the perfect partner. Unfortunately, like you said, that's not panning out. So I feel like, yeah, I think Chalufia, because of her presence, it's the common sense choice to replace Banda. But also, we've seen a Chalufia that's really not. I don't see that fire sometimes in her eyes. It just needs to come up more often. Hopefully, this change of position it makes Chalufia thrive, and it will be great for her to see a partnership between Ovalle and Chalufia. Mind you, they've both come from the Mexican league, so that could be something. But I agree with you, John. Right there, I like Simone Jackson right there, and I also like Simone Charlie as
Yeah.
a Chalufia replacement. I
I
love
feel
that.
like if you're talking about exciting lineups, this is very exciting to me because you
Yeah,
have 3 players here up front and Marta who can all They
And
all want
Martha's
to.
free. Martha's
They
free to create.
Yeah, they all want to run at players. They all want to attack. They all want to try things like 1v1. They all have that creativity about them. Ali Watt she's a speedster type winger. She's an outside right full winger that she can get on the right side and cross the ball in. She's not always gonna, be that more of that inside forward. Whereas Ovalle, I'm sure Luis, we're gonna see her drifting inside, going outside. Like she'll move around the space. I feel like Simone Jackson also has that in her locker. And then if you have Marta, you could have a situation where you have three attacking mids that all rotate and switch spaces and move around, and Simone Charlie running off of them. It could be very exciting. I think the issue is healthiness. Simone Charlie hasn't played a full 90. Simone Jackson went off with that injury, although she, I think it was great that she got the start. Shame she is, slightly injured. Let's hope she can come back quickly. But this is, to me, exciting. I think also, really, I like I said before, I feel like Corey Dyke arguably deserves to be in this starting 11 right now over Hernandez. Like you could bring in Hernandez
100%.
off the bench. Even, Oyane can play here.
No.
She can. She genuinely can. If you
Yes,
watch her,
yeah,
she's quite tricky and she can play right wing. So like you could bring her on. I'm not saying you necessarily start Hernandez at right wing, but you could do that at one point if you wanted to. I really feel like this is a very good back line. I really like a Bella Strom Sam's Dyke as
I
as the
like
back
that back
line.
four.
Yeah, I feel like, and these two in midfield. Obviously, we'll talk about Morgan going in a minute, but I've not been impressed with Ali Limos this season. I think
Me
Angelina
neither.
and Haley are our best options, like last year, to play the two D mid roles. There's a lot of question marks about the attacking four, like not really Marta, but who are these? Where are we going to play Ovalle? How is this going to look? But it's very exciting that she's come in, Luis. I think Ovalle is, I want to say again, massive kudos to the Wilfs who have backed the Pride organization ever since they bought it, and they keep putting their money where their mouth is, and in women's sports, and keep breaking records and spending more money. We've been investing in all of the Pride Youth Academy, etc. And then Ovalle is just the latest in the ways that they backed Haley Carter and the team. And I feel the big thing is, Luis, I don't want to say the season was slipping away, but like,
Yeah,
I think without this signing, we're looking less and less like a team that's even gonna be competitive enough in
100%.
the playoffs. So now Ovalle is coming in. There's a certain amount of hope that by the time the playoff gets here and we get the rest of this regular season to really figure out how we're gonna look with this, new attack, and then maybe in the playoffs we can cook again. We'll see, but it definitely feels like an adrenaline boost, right? An injection of excitement into the season.
No, 100%. And we're going to read some comments and then I'll go with my assessment real quick here. Of all side words at the open practice, I think we read that already. Briscoe to make run of respect. Sab did a lot of the shouting about it. It says of all side words. Thank you so much, of all side words. And I do want to say,
there was also someone at the open practice as well, Luis.
Yeah, sorry.
There was someone at the open practice, a trial
Who?
player. I will tell you. Shout out to Blake Canada and Juju on X.
And also,
This.
there were a couple of fans there too. I heard about that.
So here, this player here apparently is on trial. So yeah.
Who's that?
There you go. That is, I will tell you, the name Elise Bennett. She was with San Diego Wave not too recently. So I don't know if that's a signing. I mean, she's probably just wearing training gear. She might just be training with the team. We have no idea. Like, players can come and train with the team. It doesn't really mean anything. But yes, they had the Pride event yesterday at open training where a lot of the players went, and she was there training with the players. So Elise Bennett.
So Elise Bennett, American professional footballer who played forward for Liga F, which is the second division, and
She was
for
with
Deportivo.
Coruña. Yeah.
Yeah, for in Spain for
I think she's
Deportivo.
still signed into Coruña is what I could see. Wasn't sure.
That's what it
We'll have to
says
look that
here.
up.
But again,
They're
loans.
in the summer window though.
Yeah, it says also played for San Diego Wave. 14 appearances for San Diego, 0 goals. All Rain, 21 appearances, 2 goals. Kansas City Current, 2022, 21
Bring in
appearances,
another
three
forward
goals.
would make sense.
Yeah. So I mean, this could be a bargain signing with a lot of upside. But
Yeah. I mean, this is all speculation. She was
it's
just
all
at
speculation.
training. We have no idea whether they're
Yeah.
trying to sign her or not, but it could be.
So she is the daughter of National Football League coach and former player Edgar Bennett. So I don't know who Edgar Bennett played for. It's an American running back, former Jacksonville Jaguars, and former Chicago Bears, and former Green Bay Packers. So maybe connection with Alex Freeman.
I
No,
mean,
just
we'll see. I mean, it definitely, with Barbara, that brings us nicely really onto the Barbara news that we'll talk about now. With her being out, if you not know, Barbara is out, added to the season-ending injury list. This was announced on Saturday due to it is a right abductor longus tendon. So, yeah, she's on SEI, which,
yeah.
if you don't understand what SEI means, that means season-ending injury. So she has been placed on a list of injured players for the remainder of the season, and will not be available for us, obviously, for the remainder of this campaign. And you hate to see it. I think, Luis, you should talk about what you said. I think is probably what a lot of people also think that way on this injury.
Yeah, I mean, this is a player that all the eggs were in her basket, and Orlando relied heavily on her. And we here in this spot said everybody needs to raise the level, just like Banda's doing. And it just seems like people were just so comfortable, or her becoming the focal point of the team, that drive and that eagerness, that bite, it kind of fade away. And so now the pride needs to go back to that, be that resilient team, that team that will bite back and be that surprise team that's gonna punish you without Banda, and because they did it before. Now it is there's no timetable for Banda's return. Obviously, it's SCI. It could take, usually for this. I did my research about how long does it take when you have that type of abortion, and it takes around 6 to 7 months, and then it has to be a rehabilitation. No, now depending on hers, from my understanding, it's just one of the tendons. So obviously your leg has several tendons. The longest tendon is the one who kind of snapped off the bone.
Yeah.
So it's going to be obviously probably reattached, and
I think
in
they
that.
have surgery, or she would have already had
Yeah.
surgery. Usually what they do is have surgery immediately and then recover from that. So,
Yeah, and not
yeah.
only that, I do want to blame.
Yeah, this is what
People are
I
gonna
thought you were gonna say. Blame the NWSL, which I think you should.
I want to blame the NWSL, and I want to blame. I know people are gonna hate me. That whole heat thing. All right,
Well, that's it. I mean, they
bro.
scheduled it at a bad time. Our players are warming up, then they're getting cold legs and they're warming up again. It's like 3 hours of that. And that's the game that Barbara gets injured. I don't think it's, especially with a muscle injury like this. Like you said, she was like wouldn't be warm enough and pulls a muscle. So hey, NWSL, you mess around and then you get one of your star players injured.
Bro,
That's on you. There's
bro. It's
consequences to the actions.
Yeah, it's terrible. If anything, that game could have been scheduled for a different day. Look, what I'm telling you is
Yeah.
this: I just feel this type of injuries, and I did my research about this. It happens when you warm up, then you cool down for long to the point that you have no sweat on you, like you're not sweating at all, and then you go right back to do like suicides. Like you will pull something, you will pull a calf muscle, you will have cramps. On her, because she's an athlete and it's a physical game, her longus tendon snapped. So I do feel
Yeah.
like that was, to me, for that game that was delayed over 3 hours due to extreme heat, that might have contributed to physical stress, especially, you go in from 0 to 100 real quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's just, the NWSL has to do better. I just feel like,
I mean, they've made so many bad decisions recently, bro. And I think yeah, especially Jessica Berman, the league commissioner, is getting a lot of blame, and rightly so. I don't think she's doing a good job at all at the moment. Some people think she's never done a good job. So yeah, I mean, let's say that. But I definitely feel like there's a lot of stupid, silly rookie errors that can be avoided. Just because you really want to get a game on TV. It was obviously reported later that Kansas City warned NWSL about that game and said we need to move it. NWSL ignored them, even threatened them with a fine if they were gonna, complain or publicly talk about it or whatever. And said we still have to go ahead with the game, and they made it all. It's yes, I understand you want to grow the league, TV ratings, money, all that stuff, but like too many decisions are against the health of the athletes, and this is it's just not necessary. And when you're a rookie league, you can learn from what other leagues do. Don't make the same mistakes, and a lot of this is avoidable, Luis. It's just poor organization and poor decision making.
yeah, 100%. In Zambia, some pundits are saying over there that this is definitely a blow to global women's football and Zambia's national team. Also, they're saying this is a good opportunity for her to get better and go to Barcelona. I don't know what's their obsession in Zambia with Barcelona, but it's okay. And when it comes to the NWSL, like you were
Yeah, I'd like to
mentioning,
just
John,
say for a second, Luis, anybody who sees anything about Barbara Banda going to Barcelona, know that that is a bunch of doohickey and it is not true.
it's not coming
It's
from
a
us.
bunch of BS, and it comes up every 2 months that some
Yeah,
random dude just posts about how Barbara Banda is going. They saw that we were signing Ovalle for 1.5 million, and there were suddenly rumors that Barbara is being bought for 1.5 million. Like,
come on, man,
so the Barbara Banda Barcelona thing,
it's not happening.
ignore it. It's not true. It's just going on forever.
Now, what is real is what Haley Carter said, which I have right here. It says Barbara has been instrumental to our success, and losing a player of her caliber is heartbreaking for the entire organization. We are committed to providing her with the highest level of care and support throughout her recovery. Now, Megan Burke, which is the NWSL Players Association president, she highlighted what we just said, John, linking the injury to the heat delay and criticizing the league's management of such conditions. And I completely agree with Ms. Megan Burke, and we would love to have her at some point here. And Ali Krieger, former Orlando Pride player as well, and Jeff Kassouf also said that not only that they feel sad about Banda, they said it in a podcast here, I have it, but they also said that they condemn fan abuse that were directed at Banda, indicating strong support for her as a player and person, which likely extends to the sympathy of her injury for her injury. So I think they said that to the Athletic. So um, interesting, all the reactions, but certainly it's a huge blow. It's a pretty bad. It's a pretty muscle coming from the bone. Like, I mean, you're eating a tomahawk
Yeah.
steak, and you see how the meat falls off the bone. Just imagine that. Like,
TMI, bro. I don't want to.
you know.
I don't want to know about that. I don't want to hear about that.
There you go.
Uh,
Too graphic.
yes. All right. All right. Let's talk about Morgan, who has decided to go on a new adventure, Luis, a very exciting adventure to sunny Tyneside. She's gonna join the Newcastle. She's going up. She's gonna go
Newcastle
up.
on Trent, right?
Yeah, well, no, not quite. It's different part of the country, but she is definitely far north. She is in a part of the country, Luis, which I would describe as like football is essentially like your lifeblood and religion. Like if you live in that part of the country, you're either a Newcastle fan, a Sunderland fan, a Middlesbrough fan, like, and that's it, and that's
Magpies.
everything. That is your identity, and that's everything. Like there's Newcastle fans with the entire, badge on their entire back. Like that's a normal thing to do. So, a very historic footballing town. And I think, based on all the press and everything that she's done with them, it's just a really cool, exciting project for her to do late in her career. What do you think about Morgan going to Tyneside to become a magpie?
Yeah, I am. I'm happy for her in a way. It's just I think she's look. The Pride is gonna do what's best for their players. I would have, if it would have been me, I would have probably, you know, tell her to stay. But then, you have Viv on that same position. You have, and so she was ready for a new chapter. She was ready for a new adventure. I felt like also her age, maybe had to do some with it. And some of the little nagging injuries here and there, she'll play like 5 games and then rest like another 3 or 4 here and there. But I mean, her quality is tremendous. And now with Newcastle, she's going to have a leadership role coming to the second division of women's British football, the WSL 2. Um, was it WSL? Is a women's soccer league, right?
Women's Super League. So yeah,
Women's Super League. Yeah,
it's like the
Women's Super League.
championship of women's
Yeah,
soccer
so it's the
in
championship
women's
side,
football.
and
Yeah,
she's gonna be
same
playing
league as
against.
Stoke, I believe, actually.
Yeah, she's gonna be playing against Sheffield Women, against Portsmouth, and all kinds of, and she's gonna have a leadership presence. She's been to the World Cup. She's a World Cup champion. She's won the double, and so she's bringing all her experience into a squad that she's gonna be able to kind of run and motivate. And you cannot deny a player that wish. And I think, like you said, she's going to a very historic team. I have a little bit of a heart and love for Newcastle too. A little bit. But just make sure that you're not downing those pints. 'Cause they
I
love
think
they love their pints there.
yeah, she's I love seeing all the videos they put out. If you haven't, go check out their social. They did a great interview with her, like showing her around all of
Yeah, we can
Newcastle. And
play it actually. Let me see if I can find it.
no, it's okay. I just think people go check it out for
Yeah.
yourselves because it's a really cool story, and I think it's great for her. I think she's going to be that sort of, technical midfielder that the
Yeah.
game can run around at this level and be able to run the team and be that kind of focal point. And obviously she could have done a few more years here with us, but honestly, she's getting a little slow. Not to be mean, but it's just what happens at this age, right? And you could notice this year she was getting beat quite a bit, and I think she kind of knows that, right? She's a smart, intelligent player. I like what she said in her interview. Where she said, "I'm always willing to like go somewhere and be a part of a new project and take that new challenge." So I think for her, she was like, "I won it all with Orlando Pride last year. I've only got so many years left to play. I want to go play somewhere really cool like this."
100%.
And I think that's awesome, and I support her. I think that's amazing, and I think that's really cool. And also, maybe there's something going on in the future with her husband. Maybe they're going to sign him as the coach,
Oh,
or maybe he'll get a job
oh,
over in England or something. I think there's
oh,
something,
gotcha.
I don't know. That would be my guess. But when she was in that interview, she said like, "Oh, I'm going to see my husband more." And I was like, "So he's going to come over to England to come see you, or like what's going on here?"
Yeah, because
So,
I figured I'm like,
um,
long distance relationships, man, are tough.
yeah, I mean, who knows? She's obviously been doing it for a long time, and she goes where she needs to go, and he goes where he needs to go. it might have nothing to do with that. But I think it's really interesting that she's chosen. She's got 6 months on loan with them, but she's talking like she wants to be there for at least a few years, and really try and be part of a project for them and
But
be a
it's
key
cool
player. So
because they if you man look, she's already won everything a player wants to win. So she's already been to the World Cup. She's won the World Cup. She's done this. She's playing the NWSL at top level, won with the Pride, and now she's taking her experience to a young group of women that probably have never been exposed to this life, and that is exciting in itself for somebody like Morgan. And then why not? Like, I've seen the celebration some of these clubs have. I remember when Burnley just now qualified to the Premier League. Again, they came back to the Premiership. They celebrated. I've seen like videos of people like wasted on the streets, like downing pints at the bar and like celebrating. It's a huge thing. It's like winning a championship, literally,
yeah, it's
to
huge.
go into Premiership. So imagine if
Yeah,
she takes Newcastle to the Premiership. Like, it's
yeah.
massive.
And women's soccer is getting,
Yeah,
women's soccer, women's football in England is obviously growing all the time, but a lot more
100%.
of the traditional clubs are taking it a lot more seriously and investing in it, like we have here, like Orlando Pride. So I think obviously Newcastle are one of the wealthiest clubs in the world, and they spend incredible amounts of money on the men's side. They're obviously now willing to spend some amount on the women's side. Bringing in a player like Morgan is intention to say, look, we're not going to be able to sign the best players in their prime, but we can sign very experienced, good players. And Morgan was obviously looking around, and this whole project excited her, and she wants to go do it. So it's awesome. I think it's really cool. When the rumor came up, or when it was announced by Sky Sports a couple of days ago, I was like, "What is this? What's going on? Is this crazy rumor?" Of all the places she landed, I was thinking like, a USL side over here, Luis, but
Yeah.
I don't think that's Morgan. If you look at her history, she's been lots of different places. She's very well traveled. So this is just an exciting last sort of challenge in her career, I think.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's tremendous. I think it's a great move by her. I'm gonna be following her. If I'm gonna start watching the Ascension League. I don't know in which channel they put it on, but I will start
I don't know
looking.
where you could watch that league over here.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder how much it'd be fun to go to one of those games. I went to when I went to England last year. Like, I went to in a time there was no soccer. I even was wondering if I could watch like a second division like team. Like my brother is actually moving to England.
Yeah, well, the summer is not a good time to come because it's all, it's the off season.
Yeah, yeah, my
The
brother's
time to
moving
go
to.
watch English football is like go for Christmas and go watch like a Boxing Day game.
Yeah, my
That's where
brother's
it's
moving
at.
to Chester, and
Okay, very nice
yeah, and
place.
so I looked at the clubs there. There's Chester FC, and they're like in like the fourth like league. I think it's like the fourth division. It's like really small club, but they have their stadium is like 10,000 seater stadium, like pretty cool. I'm like, it's impressive. Like the soccer culture there is tremendous. Rodolfo Chen says, "What exactly a loan of Morgan help Orlando? How long is the loan for? How much does the Pride get for the loan?" There you go.
It's not to help Orlando. It's
It's to help Morgan.
Morgan is just wants to go do something else, and we have plenty of midfielders, and she's also, I think probably Haley needs to balance the books a little bit. So I don't think she's upset by the idea of a player like Morgan taking the wages off the books as well right now. Obviously, we're bringing in Ovalle. It's not, as much as I respect Morgan, it's not a huge loss for this season. I don't think we're gonna, struggle to replace the minutes that she's been having. We have plenty of good defensive midfielders in the squad.
100%. Plus, it just like John was saying, it helps Morgan. I think And I think the club has shown, especially Haley and Seb, they'll do what's best not only for the pride but also what's best for the athlete. You know, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. And there's been a lot of players that have have a lot of talent, like Amanda Allen and so many players. Like what happened with Messiah Bride at some point. Okay, you don't want to be part of the pride. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
I mean, it's a policy we've always had with Haley Carter and then Seb, and just if a player wants to move on, they don't want to be here. I think that's the best thing always. You don't want to keep a player that's unhappy, and also I think sometimes it's the right time for that player
Yeah,
to move on.
I
I think this
agree.
was the case with
100%.
Morgan. I don't think we're pushing her out the door, but she was like, "Okay, I think this is what I want to do," and obviously, all the respect to the double winner, and she has every right to make the next choice in her career. So, we wish her well in England, Luis. All right, it's time. We got to talk about it. The loss to Angel City. Luis, your opening thoughts on this game.
Well, I mean, it was the first loss at this venue for the Pride. Alisa Thompson with a goal, which the shot unfortunately deflected of Orlando's Haley McCutcheon, and then it completely bypassed Anna Morehouse. Um, you know, Orlando started aggressively. I felt Ali Watt, Haley McCutcheon, uh, great. Also, Hannah Siebert was on point the first 15 minutes. And then in the second half, Orlando just maintained the pressure. There were a couple of crossbar hits. And again, the lack of failing to convert the chances. That's what I'm a little bit scared about, bringing somebody so great like Ovalle, setting up a whole play, and then you have nobody to poach it in. That's something that we need to get better at. And then, Lisa Thompson got that shot deflected of McCutcheon, and then after that, they showed a lot of. I felt like Angel City kind of play very defensively and just try to close the game out, and then that's exactly what they did. They just closed the game out. Orlando couldn't really equalize, and yeah, so Anna Morehouse made some good saves, but just couldn't stop to deflect the goal. Ali Wad led the attack with multiple shots. One hit the crossbar, and unfortunately, Banda was missing because of the injury. But then, at least it's not like Angel City was like super like great. Uh, it's just their defensive organization. I felt like the way they were able to hold out that lead was important. It just and also they maintain a lot of the possession in the game, but Angel City also struggled by scoring and converting early chances, and I felt like it was more of an even Stevens game. But this was a team that Orlando should have beaten. I feel like Orlando missed the boat on that. Um, I don't know. What are your thoughts, John, of this game?
Um, my thoughts are that our attack is broken, and without Barbara, it was even more broken. And I didn't see where the goals were going to come from. We, did a reasonable job of defending Angel City, who were attacking well. But then whenever we try to attack ourselves, we just lose the ball, or we wouldn't win it. We were not consistent in our attack. We give it back to them, and then we end up defending again. We spent a lot of time pressing. Um, I don't believe in the whatever the 4-4-2 with Marta and Limos up front is. Like Ali Limos was like a pressing forward almost. Like I just don't get what that is. I don't like that, and I don't think it works. We need another nine, a real nine up there, leading the front line. I think Simone Jackson started okay, and then obviously had the injury, had to come off. But just our midfield and our attack does not. The passing is not smooth. The shots are not there. Every game it's like 2 shots on target out of like maybe we have 10. So our shot accuracy has been terrible all season. So yeah, I think we need a new attack in some ways. We need a new idea in attack. We need a new game plan. Obviously now no Barbara. Whatever the plan was, I think was all based around her. So we need the new plan. It's not whatever we've been doing like last game without her. That's not it. Ovalle is going to be obviously part of this new plan in some way. I think she will be a lot of the focal point, which is crazy to think because she's coming in as a brand new player. But I feel like she's that big a player where she will naturally have the game gravitate around her. I think we need to get her and Marta creating something with some other attacking players, playing off of them. But right now, it's not looking good for our attack, Luis. And yeah, I mean, the defense had a reasonable game, but eventually, that really good driving ball in from Thompson, and she smokes past Marta and then puts a ball straight in at Anna Morehouse, who can't see it because there's about 4 Pride players in front of her, and that's all they needed. And that was their game plan, was to, get that one goal and use their defensive acumen, which has been good enough. And I feel like that's a trend this year. Teams know that we aren't as good on the attack, and they managed to get that one goal, and we often don't have an answer. We find ourselves trying to chase the game, get back into it when we should be leading the game and scoring first, and we haven't been doing that for a while. So yeah, we have real problems, Orlando Pride, at the moment. I mean, I'm not gonna candy coat it. The team right now, I think, is where we are in the table is flattering us a bit based on how we're playing, and I expect us to kind of drop if we don't improve our form like now, like rapidly.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. I think Orlando needs to either the attacking pieces step up, or I feel Seb needs to. We have a lot of defenders and midfielders. I feel like Shaboshi can find a place in the back line, just like maybe even Rafa. And then maybe you want to drop Carey as a more like a winger, and
Yeah.
you put Carey more of like a winger on the left, and then you put Ovalle on the right, and then up top you put Preska or Julie Doyle. Um, I don't know if can the Pride still sign free agent players?
Yeah. I mean, it just really depends on
Because
the budget and where we're at with,
I'm
wage
looking here at
restrictions.
2025 NWSL free agents, and I look at Sierra King. Remember Sierra King? I don't know if
Yeah. I mean,
she's
that's why I think we're looking at someone like Bennett, right? I think there's going to be potentially another striker coming in now that Barbara's injured.
yeah. So Sierra Kim, for example, she used to play in the rain. Like she could be a good veteran presence. I don't know if she's still playing in Seattle, but I mean, I'm looking at that website, and it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
The next. Go ahead, John.
I was going to say a few stats here just on that. Big chances missed in the league. We are 5th in the league for that. So that's not great. I think one that's really telling is goals per match in the league. Kansas City are on 2.0 goals per game. They are by far the best. But if you look at where the Wave are, or Washington Spirit, which arguably we were up here and we should be up here, in the last few months we have now dropped down. We are 9th in the league in terms of goals per game. Only scored 22. Like it's dried up a lot, and we might be high in the table, but our attack is very middle of the road at the moment. So these are just a few examples of where we need to get better. The one that really kills me, Luis, is corners, man. We talked about this before. We have so many corners, and yet we don't score or convert hardly ever from any of them.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's
What were you going to talk about before? I apologize.
no, no, no. I was gonna say also, I saw some comments there. So yes, the NWSL allows for the signing of free agents at any time. If they're a complete free agent, they can sign them. However, if the player is under contract with a club, then and when the window is closed, then yeah, they have to wait till the next official transfer window. But if they're a free agent, then they're
Well, the transfer window has closed. Yeah, so free agent we could do. Yeah,
yeah.
for
So I
sure. I
mean,
believe I don't know the exact free agency window, but it's probably not the same as the transfer window. Usually isn't.
yeah. So also for example, like if you want to trade for someone, from an NWSL team, you can do it anytime up to the roster freeze. So but right now, it's frozen, it's closed. So but so that's probably not permitted. Well, if it's a complete free agent,
Yeah,
then I think it's a possibility. We need to scout better from the NCAA, say Shinta.
we could definitely do that. I could see that, but I think we need almost some experience. We need a goal scorer who's
Yeah,
scored goals in NWSL, and we need them ready to go in some
yeah,
ways.
like Sierra King.
Well, yeah, I was thinking more like,
Just
like Bennett
joking.
would make sense, or like really Simone Charlie. Like Simone Charlie's been
Samoa
there
Charlie.
before, and she's done it before, and she's hopefully fit and healthy enough.
Yeah.
She would be the one that I would be looking at most to kind of, but maybe it's going to be Priska and playing that, most likely being able to replace Barbara like for like is probably Priska. Julie Doyle could even play the 9. She's not bad there. We've seen that before. It just depends where they go from here, Luis. We'll have to see. But this Angel City game, it I'm struggling to find many positives from it. Can you think of something good that came out of this Angel City game? I mean, they had 23 shots to our 8. I think that kind of says a lot of it for me. Like they were, all over us for a lot of the game. I just feel like we never really got into it. I don't. I just think like maybe when the subs came on and we made some changes, but I just always felt like we were second best in this one, and we're looking like a team trying to chase the other team and not in control. John Sotir, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, she's got a long throw that Rory DeLapp would be impressed by. I mean, that was causing us real problems. Their corners she was putting in, the dead balls are really good. She was killing us on that side. Like I think they just, they use a lot of their speed and their pace and the set pieces, and they played a good game, man. I think they tactically got this one right, and I think they deserve the win, and I don't think we performed very well at all.
Because we need to steal quality from bad teams like Ludmilla or like Cass. Yeah, but if they have a contract,
I don't think they're going to get Ludmilla.
yeah,
I know the
then that
Chicago's got like one good player. They're not going to
now
sell
what we
to
could do
us.
is if there's USL Super League players that are out of contract, I will poach them right away, especially if they have good numbers, like because the majority of them are pretty young. So I mean that could be another option. But I think bottom line, John. I mean we could sit here and talk about but bottom line, I think the players need to step up. Banda was burned out in my opinion because all the eggs were on Banda's basket, and we haven't seen nothing from Julie Doyle,
We've been
nothing from
relying on Banda and Marta
yeah,
for too
nothing from
long,
Summer Yates,
and
nothing
now
from
it's
Ali
biting us
Watt.
in the butt. Yeah.
Ali Watt, it's already gone for pretty much. She's pretty much waiting for this year to end, and then she's going to Denver. I mean, I don't but what I'm trying to say is we need these players that are in the roster. We need them to step up to the occasion. They've done it before.
Yeah.
Are we still contenders? I do feel we're still contenders. We just gotta get it right. And
I think with
also, it will be a disservice to just put all the big heavy backpack heavy lifting on Ovalle right now.
I mean, that's the thing. We need like Marta. We need to see that hungry, driven Marta. The one that just
But she's
won
tired
Copa.
too, man.
I'm not blaming. I get it. I'm just saying that like the tired Marta, the one who gets loses the ball all the time, the one who can't make the passes and get frustrated at everybody else. That Marta is not going to help us right now. We need the Marta that we had last year, and then we need Ovalle to come in and instantly be good, which is again shouldn't be an expectation for a player coming in halfway through the season, but that's who she is. But if you look at our form here in fourth, and you look at the other teams around us, Luis, it's just we're not. Look at Kansas City. Look at what even San Diego Wave. Look at KC. We haven't won a game in 5. That doesn't say to me like we're a really dangerous team right now. I think our best hope is to figure it out over the next really well. We've got Champions Cup coming in, so that's going to be a fun wrinkle. But in terms of NWSL play, we've got to figure it out before the playoffs, and then go into the playoffs hopefully with a new attack and looking hot, and with our new players all clicking and working together, and being ready to take it in the off season. Obviously, the Supporter Shield is Kansas City's. Like, if they don't win it, that's crazy. It's in the bag for them. Um, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to win it all. We did last year, but it doesn't happen that very often in NWSL that way. We've just got to figure it out by the end of the season, Luis.
100%. I mean, I still feel we were capable to be the top 3 team, or even be on the top 2. We can go back to be top 2. We just gotta. I mean, hopefully this Banda injury, it's a wake up call for some of the players, and they need to go back. I mean, they've done it before. It's not like they have not done it before. I've seen that fire you know, in um, in Julie Doyle's eyes and Ali Watt, and that, and we need that like, hey, I'm here to face a big hurdle, and I don't care. I'm gonna rip it through. I'm gonna excel to my highest potential. That's the type of player that we need to see. And also, don't make a lot of experiments in the back line. Dyke, Abello, Strom, and Sams. That's our back 4. If Rafaela needs to wait in line, I'm sorry. I mean, she's been injured for a long time. If we, she's gonna have some games for sure. But
Yeah.
I feel like that's our back 4.
Obviously, our next game is Friday at home against Gotham. We're going to talk about that in a second, but I wanted to look ahead a little bit, Luis, because the CONCACAF Champions Cup is coming up. The second iteration of this tournament did not exist until last year. It's a crazy tournament that literally takes an entire year to play it. It's really weird. The group stages are now. They don't play the final end of the tournament until like May next year, but we will be playing next Tuesday against Alioense in the CONCACAF Champions Cup. So we got to start thinking about this rotation. We got to start thinking about 2 games in the same week, how we're going to deal with that. The following Sunday, we are away at Chicago. And then we do have a full week before we then have to play Bay. But the week after that, another Tuesday game away at Chorillo. And then we're again Friday in NWSL. So it's not back to back to back to back, but we do have these weeks like the one coming up where we have 2 games in the same week. So rotation is going to be a factor here. Obviously, I think right now you play your best team against Gotham, Alioense. All respect to them, but I think we can play our second team in that one and probably still get the W. Let's talk about Gotham, Luis. Oh, also, this means next week, Luis, we're gonna have 2 Pride Pods because we'll have a midweek game. So look out for another Pride Pod next week, probably on Thursday.
Yeah, look, for Alajuelense, we need to play the we need to play we need to tell this is an opportunity for Sep to be like, look, girls, listen to me. You wanna you want a piece of the pie in the first team? This is your chance. Let's rock Alajuelense. And he's talking about put Viv on there, Julie Doyle at the 9, Summer Yates on the wing, Shavoshi as a starter center back. I mean, you could literally rotate majority of the team. You put um, um, also our second goalkeeper.
Cosette, yes. Yep.
Yep.
Cosette could go
Yeah.
in for her first game there in Alianza. I could see that.
Yeah. And then when it comes to Gotham, you're playing. I think Esther plays there, right?
Yep,
So they
indeed.
have a pretty good striker, but right now I feel like their defense is very vulnerable.
Yeah.
So we're
I
able to
mean, they're not in a good form either.
yeah, we are able to capitalize on Gotham. I think this is the time to kind of capitalize on Gotham. I know a lot of people are doubting on the coach as well, so we'll see.
Yes, indeed. All right, let's have a look at the Gotham lineup real quick. Okay, this was the last game. Obviously, they've got Ann-Katrin Berger, national team goalkeeper for Germany,
Mm-hmm.
and superstar Jess Carter, Europe winner with England. So she's great. Sonnet, of course. Like they have a very good team, Gotham. We know this. Rose Lavelle is back and playing. She hasn't been, she's been good. She hasn't been amazing like she has been in other years. Gabby Portillo, of course, from the Brazilian national team. Esther Gonzalez. The rest of the supporting cast, some familiar faces. Coming off the bench, even they've got, of course, some very good players. Bernina, Torres, Cook, etc., etc. So they are still a very good team, but when we look at them in the table, they've slipped down here. Recent form hasn't been as good. Of course, they've most recently draw to the Utah Royals. We know how that feels. They lost to Houston Dash. They drew with the Spirit. That's not too bad. And they drew with Chicago. So they've been struggling against, reasonable and mid-level teams, kind of similar to us. I guess we've been playing slightly better teams, but neither team is, on fire right now. Neither team is playing really well. This is a home game for us. It's a very winnable game for us. We really need to produce better than we have recently, Luis. If we look at the overall, we have on the record with them 9 wins, 7 draws, and they have 10 wins. Most recently, when we played them earlier this year, we did beat them 2-0 in their house early in the season, but we haven't played them since last year. They beat us 3-1 in their house, and we beat them 2-0 in our house. So a good rivalry, but we definitely need to be the ones, getting the win here, Luis, at home. Maybe Ovalle will be shown to the crowd. Maybe she'll be brought out. I don't think her visa will be ready yet for this game. I would be shocked if she is ready to go. That would be some incredibly fast visa work. It could happen, but I think more likely she's just going to be brought out and presented to the fans, but won't play in this one yet.
Yeah, 100%. I think we're gonna be. I think this Gotham game, it's hopefully a lineup with Ovalle and an Ovalle that is probably going to be at home and with a home crowd, and maybe we see that some magic from Ovalle for sure. But what I like to see more is just a change of attitude more than anything from
Yeah.
everybody surrounding Ovalle. You know, so
So let's say most realistically, Ovalle is not ready, right? Let's say not visa ready. Who would you put on this left? Would you put Summer here and Ali Watt here and Priska up top? Is this kind of how you think we'll
no,
start?
I would probably put Avello on the wing.
You go with Bello left wing and put
Yeah, and then I'll do Carson Pickett right there.
I disagree. I think Carson Pickett's been really bad recently. No
Or if
offense to
anything,
Carson.
you want to put Raffaele and put maybe Strom on the as a left back.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
That could,
I don't love
you
Kylie
know,
at left back.
Carson's
I
not doing too hot. To be honest with you,
yeah, I'm not disagreeing with that either. I mean,
I just
maybe hopefully,
or maybe or just
Simone
keep Summer
Jackson's ready.
there and just put Jackson right there.
Yeah,
Just put Jackson.
where Ali is.
Yeah,
Maybe we'll see. It could be Simone Jackson, could be Summer Yates, could be Julie Doyle. I think those are really our options on the wing. Chalufia sounds like she's going to be the 9 based on what people saw at training with her running onto those long balls. I hope Angelina and Haley are here in the midfield. I could go with Corey Dyke or Oyane over here at right back. It really depends. I think who's done well in training this week, Luis. I think that's what
I think
Seb should pick the team on. In my opinion, is like who's putting the ball in the back of the net at training, because we need some people to put the ball in the back of the net in real life in the game.
yeah, I feel like we're gonna see Ovalle, so I'll put Jackson on the
You think
left and then
Ovalle is going to
Ovalle
be
on.
ready?
Yeah,
I'd love to see that. I lost her. I'll bring her back in. Here she is. All right. I would love to see that.
I like that. I like that better.
We'll see. We'll see.
I don't
But
know about Ohine. I think it'd be Corey Dyke.
you think Corey Dyke here? Okay.
Yeah.
We will see what lineup we get to on Friday night. Another Friday night Pride game. So hopefully it's a win, Luis. Hopefully it's a first, exciting debut for Jacquie Ovalle if she's ready.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and then here's Stream Jesus. Says Jenna Gutierrez, number 25 from Club America. You should Google her, John.
Are we gonna sign her?
No, no, no.
I got some. I can guess.
She does a lot of TikTok.
I'm sure. All right, let's move on to talk
She's
about.
waiting on a Via visa. Still waiting on a Via visa. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
think we're waiting on that visa, but I would love. I mean, they can work miracles, the visa department, sometimes if they want to.
Look, according to Mexican media,
Yeah. Well, she
by
played the All-Star game. That was her last game, so she
yeah,
should be here already if
and
she's not already. I don't
she's
know if she
probably
went to
she's
go greet
probably
her.
in Orlando right now.
There was talk of greeting her, but maybe she wanted to come in under the radar. I think it'd be cool to go do the Barbra Banda thing where everyone goes to to the airport.
Look at this, John.
I'll get on that for you, Jesus. No problem.
She's beautiful, guys. Yeah, I know.
Oh dear. All right. Score predictions, Luis. What you got against the Bats,
I
Gotham?
think I think we bounce back 2-0 win.
Who's those goals from?
Priska, and then if Ovalle plays
Briska, hold the phone, Louise. Are you telling me that Mister I don't believe in Prisca over here is telling me
as a
Priska's
9,
gonna?
man, as a 9.
Now you're on board. You're like Barbara's out the way. Priska's gonna shine. Is this what you're saying?
I don't know, man. Or
I'm just shocked. Like
or
you tell me
Chanda,
next, Nico Hernandez is gonna score for Orlando
Chanda,
City,
Chanda and
bro.
Priska score. You imagine?
Priska. Okay, I like that. I like the vibes. Priska the 9. Who else is the other one?
I feel if Ovalle is there, Ovalle. If not, it's gonna be a Marta goal.
Ambayo or Amatago. Okay. All right. I'd love to see some magic. I'm gonna go with a 1-0. I think we just grind it out. Just get that one. Somehow the ball gets in the back of the net and we are good enough defensively to hold out Gotham. So yeah, that's my optimistic. But we really need a win, man. We haven't won in 3. You know, if we want to remain in the top of the table, we got to turn the ship around pretty fast.
Great comment by Arlie Poot. Thank you. Here in Mexico, they said that she must be in Orlando on Thursday for medical tests. If I
I
was
would hope
her,
so.
if I was
I
her,
thought the club would announce when she's coming in and take fans out there. So
yeah. Or
maybe they're not doing that.
if I was there, I would go early to Orlando, and then just go to the parks. Get a little turkey leg. Go to the teacups at Epcot. Or
Maybe they'll do
Magic
like
Kingdom.
a Disney sponsored like a magic with the magician announcement or
That's
something.
right.
I don't know.
That's
Who
right.
knows? All right.
They,
Well, it's exciting if Ovalle does play on Friday for sure. I feel like we need to, we need some positive vibes here for Orlando Pride. As Orlando, I mean, Barbra Banda. It's depressing not having her out there. I think we're all going to be missing her for the rest of the season. So we need some fresh energy and some positive mental attitude, Luis. That's what we need.
100%. We need some PMA. And yeah, I guarantee you that Obaye is going to be a spark. I'm excited for that. This is Stream Jesus. Orlando City is the talk of the town in Mexico. The Toluca defeat plus Ovalle. We're like the Real Madrid right now. We are royalty in Mexico right now. There you go.
Wait till we knock Messi out of League's Cup, then everyone's gonna be talking
Let's
about
get
that too,
some.
bro.
Let's get
Yeah.
some mangoes and some tajin and some.
Yes. So we will be back next Monday to talk all about the Gotham game, and then that'll be one day before we play Alianza in the Champions League, and then next Thursday we'll be back to talk about the Champions League game and preview our following NWSL match after that. So we'll have 2 Pride Pods next week, Luis.
Man,
I can't remember the last time we did 2 Pride Pods in 1 week. I feel like it's been forever.
I don't think we did one last year.
I can't remember a game week for Orlando Pride when they had 2 games in a week, like ever in their history. Has that happened? I can't. Like Orlando Pride having to deal with fixer congestion and like squad rotation. Like there may be some NWSL games that were like midweek, but it doesn't happen very often. So it's going to be an interesting, fun wrinkle how we deal with Champions League as well as NWSL play.
Yeah. Yeah, it was gonna be fun. Thanks to everybody that watched today.
Yes,
Um,
indeedy. We got 64 people on X watching right now. How many on YouTube, Luis? We got
about 12 people.
12 people on YouTube. Thank you so much. You're all awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Luis, you want to run us through the socials?
Yeah, we're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, X, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube as Loud and Proud Orlando LP_podcast. Make sure you drop us a thumbs up and a review if you're listening. Appreciate it. Also, appreciate to everybody that watched. Shinta, Arlie Poot, Stream Jesus, everybody that's watching. It says here, un ceviche mexicano. No, bro. Come on, ceviche. Bro, you don't want to talk to me about ceviche. Ceviche, there's nothing better than the Peruvian ceviche, bro.
Luis,
No, you don't put tomato in a ceviche, bro. What the hell is that? Avocado in a ceviche? Come on, bro. Get real. Fried or die. There you go. JK, that sounds evil. This is Stream Jesus. I shouldn't. Hopefully, the ladies bring us a dub. Of course. Yeah.
yeah, we
We
need
gotta
we
get
need a
a
dub. Hopefully, we got some positive vibes on Friday, Luis.
John. I know that if Friska score a hat trick,
I'm gonna do backflips. I don't know. I don't know. Are you coming up for this one? You're gonna be there live in person to cover it on Friday?
I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna try to make it.
All righty. Well, thank you everybody who's been here today on the Pride Pod. We appreciate all of you. If you've not done so, please drop a like on the video. It makes a big difference to us, helps more people find it. Let other people know about Loud and Proud. We are here every Monday talking Orlando Pride. Thank you for being here, and vamos Pride.
Vamos Pride. Take care, guys. Have a good one.